Daps do something about it.
Daps has no armor, and he's sitting here hoping someone peeks into murder hole. Fugly working his way up towards long A. He's going to turn around and hold the flank. That Liquid did definitely go for. You can see a couple players in mid. But Liquid are content to sit. They know where the bomb is. Fugly, the pressure's on him to peek into this. And he spots this player. Going to try to chase him down. But he is electing to just chill and hope Liquid go to him. Daps still waiting and begging someone to peek murder hole as the clock slowly starts to dwindle down. It looks like Fugly is just going to wait, try to peek this out. But this is a very, very reserved player right now from Liquid.
NRG still trying to pinch this one out. Daps gets aggressive here. He's stuck between 3 players, so it's a Liege from behind to drop the next. Fugly, last man standing. 4 points of health just won't be enough. Twists, hammering it through the wall, and Liquid taking the pistol.
One thing I found, 2 things I found intriguing about that. NRG do a good job of jumping around the corner at mid to avoid getting one-tapped, which allowed them to get up ramp for free. They had good flashes that fully blind the 2 people on their balcony. But what I can't understand is why did the bombs peek so close to those players?
Yeah, bomb could have, and should have
Pieced out.
crossed to sight,
Yeah.
if anything there. Especially since Liquid didn't really have anybody allocated to the
Yep.
back of sight. Nobody really hard committed.
That's a plant at least, right?
Yeah, by all means. But NRG instead will get that force buy underway. So 3 Tech 9 CZ, just a Glock on PD. Kevlar for 4. Team Liquid with a clear advantage.
I don't know why. As soon as you said PD, I thought of like a flush teddy bear. I don't know.
I'm not judging on.
Childhoods. Little man, gonna push out towards long A. Minute 20 strikes on the clock. Stanislaw gonna hold the corner, just shoulder peeking it out, try to find one, maybe fall off or just for info. Yeah, just throws the smoke, content to hold behind it. As NRG have 0 utility, so no smoke towards connector, no flashes over. Nothing to really assist them in any regard. As a good nade in, he's gonna send Stanislaw a bit forward as the UMPs and the MP9, interestingly enough, gonna be up for Team Liquid. Breeze holding for the push from anyone on Liquid. But it looks like Liquid are just content to sit and wait for the money to come to them.
Yeah, JDM's posted up on platform here, right? So he keeps just jiggle peeking, waiting for some kind of a contact. Something to show that NRG are actually looking at the B-bomb site. If nobody revealed themselves, then JDM could always go for that quick flank, and we'll see the rotation from Liquid through connector. But for the time being, it's still NRG spread thin. They've got that one smoke on Fugly, assumingly for connector. And now they're going to see the execution shine through. So there's a death over towards the B site. That's Daps gone down. Stanislaw at the bottom of mid takes 1, but Little Man crossing to the site and allowing for that plant to shine through. So at least some money made. It's now Liquid come in for the retake. Fugly with an additional frag as Stan still holds mid. Elige with the M4 drops another. So it's Breezy and Little Man still standing. An MP9 and a Tech 9 to play. Breezy drop, Little Man up. And now he starts to burn. 38 points of health as he gets forced into the open. Liquid convert the point, but they do sustain some losses.
Good thing the kit was in play. Time. They had a little bit more to work with. Nitro, Twist, gonna go ahead for rebuys as NRG will have some cash here. So maybe just another one of these half-buy situations. Or you can see something like, which has kind of been the trend today from EU and even NA matches, where the player who's loaded just buys an AK. Everyone else half-buys around it. It's been a thing that's been going on today. But it looks like it is just going to be 250s, etc. A flash, as Liquid are still just going to rebuy. Nitro's rebuying the MP9. And interestingly enough, no utility. Optimizes the money outcome from the MP9. As you'll see Twist rebuy into the UMP, because why not?
Also makes his life a little more expendable.
Yeah.
Nothing's worse than watching people die with a full belt of nades. And
Cringy.
without Nitro holding on to any, he can just offer himself to NRG. However, with unarmored opponents, these SMGs can still rip flesh from bone, as can the ump of Twists, finding the head of Fugly. Still 4 players up for NRG. They've got really nothing to play off of. They still have that one flashbang, which generally you'll see used at the bottom of mid. It allows for them to try and peek this first fight versus a guy like Nitro, who is standing up close. You can see how Little Man's in a prime spot to take it. Peter will go in for the peek as that pop flash happens. And if Daps is able to creep up towards long A, then they can take both simultaneously. If they don't use the flash, then they're just going to be walking into the automatic gunfire of Nitro.
They peek before Little Man throws it. Interesting, and even lands behind Nitro. Stanislaw is going to find Peter, so a little fix in that flash, and I think they're good to go. Stanislaw on site, going to tap away, as it is just pretty much going to be a clean house from Liquid. They're going to lose Nitro. He did get 1 frag with the MP9. But if that flash went a second earlier and was a little shorter, You know, maybe he doesn't get a single frag there now, even MP9 to work with. Although, you are going to buy into AKs in and out next round, so it's almost irrelevant in that sense, as Liquid will buy up here and not upgrade any of the UMPs. Only Nitro will buy them for up with a leash, as Nitro is the man to fall, so might as well. And we'll see what NRG are going to be up to. And it looks like they're going to have room for Dirty Pete to try to make a play.
Nobody offering themselves up yet to that op. JDM just tucked away in the corner here, has some support, but Stanislaw doesn't spot it. Little Man and Daps combining for 2, just immediately shred that defense. Fugly dropping into the fall, and Twists will take that frag. So 1-man advantage still for NRG to play off of. The rest of the team is yet to arrive, and yet Daps pushes wide, costs him his life as Nitro takes another, taking down the bomb, and Twists finds Little Man. Peter, the next to tumble, and that's a clean play from Liquid. You see NRG with that opening towards the site, but then there's a bit of kind of disjointed push, and ultimately they're just able to capitalize on the 1v1v1. Team Liquid winning that first gun round, NRG back down to pistols.
And it sucks too, because NRG that sweet opener towards long, as you mentioned, clean, no trade frags, barely any damage exchanged. Then it all falls apart thanks to Twist. This young man is just a fragging machine. I think I read somewhere where the other day he dropped 56 frags in 2 BO1s.
Also Canadian.
Yeah, we're rocking with the Canadians out here.
Nitro from the half wall takes down Peter, but Breezy from afar will find the pistol headshot, and Fugly takes one too, so great pistol play as NRG try to keep up this pace. Stanislaw reveals himself and gets traded out thanks to Breezy. Elige and JDM gonna have to go for this 2v3 retake. Now they've got the kits, they've got the nades to play. They've got opponents on AKs as well. Elige finding the headshot to Fugly first and foremost, shifts this back to a 2v2. Both terrorists up close and personal here on NRG. Smoke grenade creates a bit of space for Elige to walk around in. He needs to be careful to not give him away as he makes a lot of noise. There's the flick from Breezy. JDM on the op, 1v2. Molotov to the site to try and force them out, but no. Breezy with another, and a 4K in the round will put one on the board for NRG.
Great work from Breeze there to clean that up, retrieve the op. Now that's something that they're going to have out on Peter again, as they would have had some funds to do it, but it may have come out as a awkward kind of buy and shifted the money. So it keeps Peter kind of rich, keeps his teammates happy. And Liquid immediately transition in towards the double op setup on Stanislaw and JDM. JDM with a spawn towards long A, gonna go take the peek. While Stanislaw number 3 on your minimap is gonna be headed towards Black. And Peter shuts down JDM with a nice far back, pushed back angle as the ops from Liquid at least will trade one out.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where NRG take a pick somewhere on the map, so then we see Liquid try to counter that with a peek of their own, and ultimately both oppers do their job perfectly. Now Stanislaw is hit down to 48, and here's Little Man catching a man towards mid. That's Nitro down. Twist's able to trade it, so a 3-on-3 ensues. And the T side quite split up at this point, disjointed, as they've got 1 man out towards long, 2 here at B. Bomb included, but Elige nipping at the heels of the offense to make sure that that corpse is dead. Drops the bomb in the process. Breezy now isolated towards the platform, and Peter coming in. So Breezy's going to try to buy some time, allow for Pete to clear out the flank. But in the meantime, 2 players still inside connector. There goes Elige, trying to get creep onto the plat. Breezy sniffs it out. 2v2 is what we're left with, and all 4 players towards B.
Peter. Let's go around the corner first, Breezy. Gonna jump out. Peter has the bomb, so we'll see if Peter's gonna elect to cover him while Breezy plants the bomb. They are gonna go for this boost. Very common when you're in a situation like this, you don't feel comfortable crossing the site, you need some more info. Breezy gonna take the boost, will lose the duel to Twist, so it is all on Peter. And he peeks into Stanislaw, that's the op down, he's legged, but spots Twist, who's playing a dangerous game to re-peek into that one. We'll pick up the op in the Liquid. We'll get their 5th round.
Yeah, Peter's able to get that first kill, and had he landed that second shot, then he would have won the 1v2. But he gets caught in the open trying to go for the bomb plant, seeing his time was against him. It was ticking quite quick, so understandably so. He whips it out at the wrong time. 3 AKs, Ump and a Tech 9 for NRG. Still 1 round on the board. And a bit of a bargain bin buy from Liquid. They've got that MP9, they've got the Mag 7, double rifle and an op as well, so it's there for them. But Elige maybe jumping the gun and not expecting this force from the T side.
JDM just going to sit in chicken coop. Energy use their mollies towards flat. Elysian, Cubby, he's able to get first with the MP9, immediately traded, as it is just all Liquid across the board right now, as they have a man advantage. And Nitro will shoot Daps in the back of the head as he tried to shoulder peek out JDM, leaving Peter alone, and Nitro, through drop, will clean that one up. 2K for him, as Liquid will put up number 6. Energy now gonna have to take a little bit of a knee and wait this next round out.
Alicia's going to reinvest into the MP9. It managed to work even versus those armored opponents, so why not do it now when they're going to be nice and squishy? NRG with just a few upgraded pistols. They don't even have that soul flashbang to try and force into the lower. This is really just going to be a stampeding run at the defense. Everybody heading out towards the A site. Stanislav's going to lock down A. Shotgun deals damage, but doesn't take down the target just as of yet. Daps still on a quarter of his health here as Stan tries to fight his way out. Twists, drops Beat, Breezy, and Nitro finds Pete. Now it's still Stan pinned, and Little Man's able to trade. However, he finds himself all alone. Nice little headshot to Nitro there, and he can pick up that shotgun to try and defend his position. Lots of time to play, but no bomb whatsoever. So Liquid are just going to turn up the heat and go hunting.
And that shotgun will fall off at that range. His Little Man will drop to a leash 7-1. We'll see how much energy are willing to go in on this one. So the op comes out from Peter again, which it hasn't really been able to open up the map anywhere yet for energy.
No.
And the amount of times he's had it, I think he's had it at least, what, three times so far on the T side?
Yeah, he's found himself much more in these kind of like rotating positions as opposed to posting up on angles. It's not as though he's trying to find those fast peaks. He's been sitting over towards long A, keeping his eye out and watching lower door, setting his teammates to move forward, and then kind of bringing up the end of the caboose. So, in this case...
one pick, though. I think he got JDM once, but...
Maybe.
Yeah.
Again, it's just not been those kind of aggressive opening kills.
Yeah, exactly.
This time Liquid with the double op, lose one. Stan going to get ripped down by Little Man. Nitro trades with the M4 of his own. He's going to retrieve that op and fall back.
That's a Liege getting a little aggressive with his MP9, almost has to. He wants to try to get a man advantage. He is going to go ahead and re-smoke it, try to play it off like that smoke was thrown from backstairs. He's hoping someone comes to the smoke while Energy are about to send 2 players down. Drop JDM with a nice angle here from Platt. He can play this safely, knowing that Alicia's holding that smoke. As JDM's just going to re-posture up. Just wait for someone from Energy to show face again as Alicia scurries his way back around the corner. Good flash out from Energy, but JDM not blind at all. Will catch Fugly as Alicia is going to show you how good the MP9 truly is, as he'll find Breezy. And it is all on Peter.
1 versus 4. Again, a situation where the op wasn't in the forefront. Wasn't trying to find those picks, but instead just has to come in through drop down of all places. Near spots the man entering through connector door, but Nitro wins that duel up close and personal with that op. 8-1 now the score, as NRG still trail by 7. They're not going to have the money to go for the buy, and this is Liquid making quick work of NRG. Thus far, anyways.
Yeah, thus far. NRG have had multiple chances with full buys, to be quite fair. That the lost bonus has kind of been there predominantly for this T half, with the one reset exception in the center. So the reset aside, NRG have had opportunities with decent buys. As Daps is going to line up a smoke, nifty little smoke there, as his teammates will throw some as well. So they go for smokes and upgraded pistols. Nitro's just going to fall behind the smokes, and he's going to need some help, as he does have a player stables though. That's Stanislav, actually an elbow.
Stan's going to hear all this movement, and he definitely spots the players by APC. But Fugly and Little Man with the sidearms, able to take 2 as Nitro's shot goes wide. Sidearm as well, not coming up with the frag, but it's Elige who helps out here as Peter clears the site, swaps to the op.
Jeez.
Fugly and Daps take those final 2. And how did NRG walk away with a round like that? They've struggled with the ops, they've struggled in their gun rounds, and it's just that closing of the distance towards the A site that they've really been able to work. I mean, that's not the first time they actually get into the bomb site. Liquid have this kind of more B-heavy start in their standard, and it's once they shift back through connector and get to the A site that generally NRG can get up in their face before the rotation happens, right? How many times do they catch players to the back of APC just getting onto the bomb site? It's the pistol rushes, of all things, that's actually been working out.
And Nitro couldn't hit an op shot at all there. There's too many moving targets. And he just got kind of overwhelmed and swarmed. Stanislav's able to get one, but then the M4 gets picked up, picks apart the rotators. So 8-2, but now it's kind of like another reset situation for NRG. Although they kept, I think, 3 players alive, is still a fair amount of damage done and money saved. So we'll see what it's going to look like if they do lose this round. As a good shot comes out there. As Elige able to find Daps, JDM will trade it out on a Breezy. So a good start from Liquid, as Elige is content to take the peak as long as JDM has it back and trades it out.
They're going to double down on this position towards long A. And you're absolutely right about this angle here on the danger stairs.
Yep.
Thanks to the changes on the map, right? Ooh, Dink though. Little man blasts Nitro. So we swing this back to a 3v3. Each team with a player slightly tagged. Everybody has those rifles and an op on each side of the spectrum. Stan gets dropped as Pete lands one up close and personal. Smoke expended towards connector door, forces JDM to creep from Balk. Now they do still have twists on the site. The Molotov could block him off, but he peeks regardless. Twists come around the corner as well, and it's just down to Peter. He's able to retrieve the bomb, goes wildly jumping, finding twists and leaving it just to JDM, who sits on 10 HP.
20 seconds. Peter on the sidearm. I think he may have thought JDM walked out to APC, so we may see Peter fake this, but this is going to be the full man stick. So it is the full plant coming in from Peter. He's going to pick up the M4 and look to peek into this. JDM, though, holding the angle. An easy shot from JDM as Peter will just go for the peek. JDM was low, but in the end of the day, he will hit the shot required. Liquid will go up 9-2. And we'll take a look at NRG's money. Now, they did get the bomb planted, so that's $1,400 plus the 800 plus the 300 the planner. So they're good. They're comfortable right now. They're going to get that by.
Second hard reset, though.
Yeah, it is rough, though.
That's got to really suck for NRG. It's honestly, it's almost like JDM knew he had that clutch if he just gave Peter time to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And Peter swapping to the M4 made absolute sense. Peeking wide into the crosshair of your opper when you know he's on low HP. Rough decision-making there, I think. I mean, he goes for the pre-fire as well and still just can't hit that one bullet. Like, it would have taken a stray round, but JDM doesn't miss. Not in that case.
Also, what allowed NRG to get a buy here is keeping those 3 players alive when they got those pistols and everyone getting a gun.
Yep, by all
means.
means.
That, so if you're looking back on it and wonder how NRG can get a buy, well, there you are. That's JDM back towards Chicken Coop, going to be holding towards Flat. Elige again with the MP9. He's played this spot multiple times with the same weapon, and it continues to go uncleared. I'd like to see possibly a molly setup for Flat to just clear that corner. That way, NRG don't have to jump out and then spin around midair and worry about so many angles. I know there is probably a safe molly you can throw from Flat to just get a
Yeah, there absolutely is. You can just smash it on the ground next to half wall, and then the fire creeps. I mean, even in that play, you see the fire towards the back plat stairs.
Yeah.
But in which round has Liquid had a position there? There's a few times when we see JDM on the op, but never when there's smoke grenades being deployed.
Pieces.
It's always been Elige just sitting underneath the half wall. So they need a slight variation in their Molotov usage. I mean, the incendiary's there. It's just not in the right spot. Or at least it's not in the spot that's been played most recently. Now comes the molly from Stanislaus. The players filter through. Peter ultimately trading back after Stan takes 2. Nitro already on the site, popping heads as Breezy comes through connector. He's looking for more as he spots the man on stable and he takes it. Peter with an M4, but a 1v4 at that.
Naded down to 27-2. We have seen crazier things today, though. So this wasn't out of the realm of possibility, as Twist will just end his life, retrieve the M4, get rid of the UMP. 11-2, round 14. NRG are going to go ahead and buy up here. Will not include an op on Peter, which, granted, when he has had it, you're right, he's kind of been the caboose of the team. The guys to slap you on the butt and get you really moving, but unfortunately the slaps haven't been hard enough, as it's going to be 11-2. Double ops again from Liquid. It's been this thing where Liquid have done such a good job with their double ops. They've kept presence on A, plat. They've kept presence towards long A, mid, B plat, and they've just done a good job of keeping the op presence across the map, where NRG are kind of left guessing is where the op may be. As Daps just going to slowly push up in there. Stanislaus, secondary op, just going to be sitted. It's a new one. Sitting and posted up on the angle as he will miss a shot. Smoke. And he is going to cautiously fall back as NRG will gain long A control. But I don't think it's going to be relatively free for now, as they're going to be hesitant to peek the corner. As they have left one player in drop room, though, to cause a little bit of havoc towards B.
Yeah, it's going to be this typical little 4-man split towards the A site with the connector flank inbound, right? Happy always does this incredibly well, going in for that long drop lurk. Coming in behind enemy lines once the rotations arrive, but For the time being, Team Liquid just have this A site control. They've got 3 players push forward as well. They're not trying to play back passively, but instead they have those forward spots. Fugly's been afforded this position in drop down. He's allowed to kind of, you know, squeak in here, and he can keep going towards A if they want to get this split rolling. Team Liquid with still 2 players allocated towards platform. And those players so sectioned off to rotate on A. So if these 3 players from Liquid can't lock down the bomb site, then all of a sudden NRG could easily take this round. Nitro and Twists both fall for free. Stanislaw's got to rotate towards Balk, and he needs to stop the cross. He at least picks Little Man first and foremost with a man advantage still for NRG. Another kill towards Connector could seal the deal as its Elysian stand still standing.
Bomb is going to go down. And Stan knows that Fugly, or at least some player from NRG, did drop down as he threw a flash, fell a little while ago before the execution happened, and Fugly's kind of just sitting here silently. I don't think Stan wants to go in drop room, but he's content to just fall back with USP. Great timing on Fugly to peek that to clean up the op. Stanislaw, as Elysia's going to be waiting for the smoke to dissipate. Crazy spots in first, and we'll put enough bullets into Elysia to take him down. So 11-2, or 11-3 now, as Liquid will still have tons of cash to get a strong buy in the final round of their CT half, and it's been pretty dominant for Liquid, where they're able to trade out, get clean openers. It's been rough for NRG to really trade out and get onto any site. It's been just pretty much locked from Liquid, and the double ops have played a pretty big part of that.
Yeah, Liquid's not a team where I can recall seeing the double op all too often, right? Stanislaw's been picking it up really frequently this game. And JDM towards platform is going to get that opening pick, again getting aggressive first and foremost. Stanislaw peeking towards long A, makes no contact, although he knows there's players here. There was an expenditure of nades. 3 guys for NRG still at the bottom of mid as they send Daps over towards the B site to create a bit of a ruckus. Stanislaw falling back, content with a 5v4. Nobody wants to give up their lives for free.
Peter posted up on Connector, hoping and willing someone will peek into this one. And I don't think Liquid really have too much reason to peek into that. They can just sit and wait, content with what they got. As Daps is going to make a little bit of noise towards drop. We may see him fall in the situation as soon as NRG throw their smokes towards A. He's going to try to drop down while there's a lot of chaos and noise being had towards A. Try to cut rotations, find a frag perhaps. And even if he gets 1 or 2, his life will be worth it just for the time wasted alone in that factor. As 37 seconds will click onto the clock, and now click by, as NRG are going to line up their smokes.
Again, that's going to block off Connector here from Peter. And that other one should be for Balk. Stanislaw still on Humpty Dumpty. Players pushing by. If they don't check it, though, he could combine multiple. Drops Little Man first and foremost. Then Breezy whips back, takes his head, and it's going to be Nitro with another. Peter opting for the trade, but 10 seconds on the clock is going to force his hand here. Needs to close the distance. 6 seconds left. He tries to take the fight, and there's no chance he wins that round. 12-3 the score at the end of the first half. Liquid with one hell of a convincing lead. Hard reset.
Yeah.
After hard reset. After hard reset.
Rough. There's nothing more difficult than getting a reset 3 times in a row. Especially when you know how important it is. If you can string a couple rounds together, the momentum gets there, but the immediate resets, it's just painful. As just look at Little Man.
Going big.
See, he was the kind of guy when they picked him up, I'm like, you know, I've watched Little Man before, nothing too crazy. But he's actually been impressing me lately, how well he's fit into NRG, and how well he's actually been doing more and more as time goes by. And I guess that's pro leagues that kind of just foster kind of players and help them improve.
Yeah, I remember when he was a stand-in for CLG, and there was the rumors he was going to join that team, right? But ultimately, this is kind of his biggest breakout thus far. And he's had himself a decent game, considering the score for his team. Daps is already on the flank, though. Walks around the corner, spots a Legion, pops his dome. Could get Stanislaw as well as Little Man arrives. Peter's here. The bomb is down. Nitro needs to fight all 3, and Fugly will drop him. 4 versus 2 here as NRG could find the pistol they needed.
Yeah, this would be big. This would give NRG options when it comes to the next couple rounds, instead of having to pretty much feel obligated to force every time. They're going to go for a counter boost, and Peter cannot be in a better spot for this. Unless his first bullet misses, Twist should be dead momentarily. And oh my goodness, they pop up. Peter misses the shot, and this now is an open avenue for Twist, as he'll pick up the USP. 40 seconds will get shut down by Breezy as JDM is in a 1v3. Glock in hand, no utility, 30 seconds. 35 to be exact, and the bomb is down. We'll see how much you can actually lounge on him here.
I think he just got bamboozled. He's not quite sure where that CT went. Tries to clear the boxes, but instead he sneaks his way. There's a CT behind him, so they know exactly where he is, and Fugly executes from behind. So NRG, they win that pistol round. They keep themselves rolling. They got a chance here to at least put up a more respectful scoreline. It's going to take one hell of a comeback to upset versus Liquid after such a commandeering start. But crazier things have happened.
Yes, especially today. Today's been a crazy day. But I would never sleep on the pistols either. And it shows me how confident Liquid are with the round leads they have, that JDM is going to even buy into this round. In most situations, you'd see the Opper just invest maybe with just a pistol while his team forces, but JDM's going to go into the investment kind of train with them. So Tech9's across the board. They have a smoke, and it looks like their eyes are going to be peeled towards drop room, where NRG have no one playing, but they are playing extremely far back towards plat, back B site, and a player in towards connector holding window. So as long as they don't get swarmed, this should be doable now for NRG.
Liquid have already been able to get into drop down. The fire cascading on the floor blocks them out.
They're dipping.
Back to the depths of which they came. They reboost back, leaving JDM on his lonesome.
Look at Twist. I think did Peter may have spotted him here, but the way he's not fully committing to peeking that, it makes me think he probably didn't. Yeah, he's not going to check it, so he just peeks in the flash and he won't even frag. So Peter seems aware enough that someone could be there, but elects to just go for the peek when he hears the sound cues in mid, as JDM will strike and get one, so that is actually huge for Liquid. One less rotator, more time to rotate. They were going to be more hesitant, and that gives time for Liquid to push up with these pistols, close connector and murder hole, as Haps is tagged to 7, so this is looking super good for Liquid, and it's a safe call. Whoa. So never sleep on the Tech9s when they're able to get up close and personal, and you get caught pushing.
I mean, poor Pete. He has such a read on the player in the corner, but then second guesses himself when they use the flashbang to enter the room, right? That's the thing. That to me is what's most interesting. Liquid know that area is clear. They've got a player standing there for the last 20 seconds. They still flashbang from T-side mid. Peter completely gives up his eyes on the corner, and that's where the kill comes through. Then we see those Tech9s just flood into the A-bomb site, so really heads-up play from them. And old Peter gets outsmarted.
It sucks. Remember, this is going back. Remember when he had a broken leg and still went to a LAN?
Yeah, well, I mean, he broke his foot on the airplane because of turbulence.
Yep.
Yeah, that was insane.
Well, now I'm scared to fly. Thanks, man.
Don't be. I've never heard of somebody else breaking their foot on an airplane.
It's just Peter thing.
Just Peter.
Peter thing.
Ooh, SG on a leash. I love that. He's another one of those players that really advocates for it alongside... Who is it on North?
Magisk?
Yeah, Magisk boy. Absolutely right. So
and Shroud too, I guess. But he's been stopping it lately.
Yeah, he was all in on that. Even the AUG. I mean, he was making the argument that it makes sense based on his positions that he plays. Yeah. And he has a point to his argument.
If you got money and you can afford all your utility.
Yeah.
Sure.
So 2 pistols here for NRG. They're going to have the 2 rifles as well. And an up. Lots of nades thanks to the save. But Team Liquid with a clear advantage. I mean, these deep smokes on the CT side have kind of blocked them off at the time being. Site looks clear because all the counter-terrorists are just tucked away in corners. Hanging on for dear life as Liquid start to close the distance. Creeping forward as an armada. Little man underneath the boost has the support from Fugly as well. So Breezy's the sole man trying to defend this platform. We saw a lot of play here from Elige, so he should have the heads up to check it. It's JDM with a 180 flick. Twists to take the next, and Nitro with the third. Immediately, NRG crumble.
That's one way to clear that corner. You just jump out so far, you force them to flick to you, and you just spin around and clean them up as Peter gets spotted, tagged down, and will hit the dirt, or should I say wood flooring of the Yaps. 14-4. We may see NRG invest into this one, unsure as to what their investment's really going to be or look like. But they definitely don't have the room to work with to justify saving here and then trying to play for OT with just based on the rounds they have.
Yeah, again, a situation where the scoreboard decides what you can do. and they need to make this force happen. So they'll have the ump on Breezy, pistols on everyone else. Very little utility, but at least a bunch of smokes. And it looks like Liquid are just going to pick up the pace. Fugly, Breezy, they open with 2 here as Elige goes for the scope. He's able to drop Fugly first and foremost, but it is just him and Twists left standing. Another headshot onto Daps as he goes for the reload and closes onto the site. Bomb in tow, but dropped. So Breezy's got that to his advantage.
He's just going to sit here. As Elige is going to start the push back in towards E-Box to try to get some control. Knowing that NRG have the bomb, and odds are I've rotated more than one player on top of it, Elige is going to try to hunt this man, knowing he was alone as... Okay. Interesting. Will clean up Little Man in the end, though. Maybe he heard some little bit of a noise from his teammate, spun around, thought it was someone from drop. But he will neutralize Little Man. 3K now for Elige on the SG. He's going to get counter boosted here, and they still have tons of time to work with on Liquid.
Yeah, Twist is going to get back into position so that they can simultaneously peek long. And at this point, we've got NRG just funneled in this spot. So they too are trying to fight their way out, knowing they have that bomb. Breezy dropped to 20 health, and he still has the frag on his belt as he drops Twists. Elige needs the 1v2 ace clutch to make this happen and secure OT. Again, bomb in the sights of NRG. They've got both their AKs trained on this angle. Elige steps out, scoped in, and he gets tagged to 11 health. So now his job goes from hard to impossible. Peter with the final frag and NRG with a 5th round.
Yeah, huge 3K there from Breeze. And they just had pistols there with, I think, a lone UMP. So good job there from NRG to clean those up. Immediately push towards Plat, get the opener, get the AKs, and just set up a little campfire around that bomb. 14-5. Liquid will have enough funds to go ahead and get the SG back out in Elige. AKs for their teammates. No op for JDM, but it is going to be the UMP. As NRG will get out their own UMP on their side. As it is just going to be an early default from Liquid, keeping bomb towards B apps. 2 players there, 3 players towards outside B. Just hoping for someone from NRG makes a play, because they almost feel obligated to try to make some kind of plays with this scoreline. Against Liquid, can you really afford to turtle in sights? Doesn't seem to be the case just as yet.
Clearing out under drop is the utility of Liquid. Both players peeking first and foremost, but JDM left with holding the angle is now. We start to see Stan go Plat, but JDM gets removed here. Headshot from Peter. And a 5v4 on the table. Bomb's going to be retrieved, and it looks as though the T's will set their sights on A. Unless the bomb doubles back. Tries to sell this fake.
Chunky damage done towards Nitro as they come out towards mid. Daps gets himself in towards elbow. Stanislaw looking downrange at Plat. As it looks like Liquid, the bomb is still towards B, so they're going to shift back. So they expend a little bit of utility towards mid to pull a rotation for NRG, commit a little bit to get some eyes on, make some noise, and they will just walk all the way back to meet up with their IGL, meet up with the bomb. And they do have a molly to clear out the corner. Depends if they want to use it. Now, it would flood out Peter, who has no utility besides a flash, who I imagine is going to pop flash for himself and peek, or a teammate will.
Yeah, there was just that teammate's flash, but Peter's going to let the first one cross. He peeks out and takes 2 near 3. Elige with the SG closes it down, but now low health for both Liquid players. Nitro's been dropped as Breezy takes the 2K. And NRG find another round.
Slowly but surely. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some rounds where the no issue. No, can't really have any blunders. It's going to have to be almost pretty clean against a team like Liquid, who are now going to be forced on kind of these pistols. That's 2-round loss. They're going to be getting 2,400 next round, so they'll buy up some pistols. They'll get a little bit here and get a buy next round, unless they do want to save for JDM's op, which hasn't really had a need to come out on the T side. But perhaps now that NRG are starting to fight back, maybe it's something they can at least consider.
One smoke, one flash for Liquid to play with. So they need to make sure that that utility has impact. Again, they can use it to just section off one avenue of assault, but Little Man's going to get presented targets. Takes 2, Elige switches it back. And now that's an M4 in his hands, but still no Kevlar. At least another smoke. So he's going to block off from the rock. This allows them to pinch towards A. And it's going to be up to Daps and Peter to try and hold the line. They're going to get pinched from separate directions as the bomb tries to join forces. Important frag from Pete there, and Daps can just watch A. That's the bomb now down, and Nitro 1v4.
All alone, bomb without way out of his reach. As Nitro thinking about coming around the corner, and he will just go down to Peter there. And there you have it. Liquid still stuck at 14. NRG gets 7. Again, a buy comes out from NRG. They're going to avoid the op for now, and as I say that, Daps buys it for Peter. So Peter drops his weapon, gets an op from Daps, who had tons of cash in his pocket. So the op comes out from Peter. Liquid, not electing to continue to save, or at least they could have half-bought here, then get the op in the next round. Instead, they're going to go all in, and it's a very minimalistic buy. Yes, they get the AKs and armor. That's only 3 smokes, 1 flash, and 1 molly. And it's hard to get map control on a map like Cobble without having some utility expelled early on.
Yeah, luckily for them, they're finding long A open, so it's not as though they need to try and use these smokes or flashbangs now. 1 smoke goes to the lower A, and with these last 2, they can just try and commit to this A site execution. There's not going to be enough utility to justify doubling back towards the B site, so it looks as though they're going to go for that split yet again. They could have kept 1 man towards drop in the form of Stan, but he too is joining his comrades in their push towards A. Nitro's allowed to creep towards cannons, still spots no one at this point. Little man rotates to the side of Balcon. He hits 1 as Daps drops a leash. Stan responds with 1 of his own. Liquid 3v4. But they've planted that bomb most notably, and now they just need to hold on. NRG still have utility to go for the retake if they so choose.
That's a cheeky boost. That is an angle you would not be ready for. And I'm always going to keep him at bay, as he is going to look towards door. Stanislaw about to peek for murder hole. Catches Fugly off guard, and he gets a second as Little Man comes through the smoke. They will deal with Nitro, but Stanislaw still alive. But the drive-by from Peter leaves it all in JDM. Now 1v1. Needs to get a 2K to get this round for Liquid. Can he stop the bleeding as Breezy, doing a great job dancing around, sticks the defuse, and JDM will put him down before that bomb can be defused and made relatively useless. Liquid get 15. NRG will buy up what they can. Of course, if they don't, well, it's going to be game over. So they'll buy up everything that in their power, as Team Liquid will get to 15. So looking crisp.
Thank goodness for the ump. I mean, what would this buy be without it, really, right? It's really carved out such a place right now in CS that it's just, it's always, it's ever so present. I mean, half of the weapons being bought up into this round are the UMP, and it allows for lots of nades, so that's the one side that I do like.
Gotta love it.
You get to see a lot more nade-based executions as opposed to just, say, Kevlar and AKs, but we'll see what they can do. NRG starting to bleed utility already. Peter posted up on plat. Nobody presents themselves as of yet, although JDM's dangerously close.
Peter's playing a nice angle here to the left side. You really have to wide swing to face Peter. But that's the safety of his angle, where you have to peek him. He can just sit here. And JDM doesn't have an op to challenge it, just his UMP. Great flash. I don't think he shoulder peeked it, though. So they're still unknown of to where Peter's positioned. And that missed smoke would actually help JDM out a ton if he had an op. Instead, still a UMP, so he's stuck behind it. As the clock slowly works its way down, we're going to click over 52 seconds. As Team Liquid have gained long A control, they have that going for them, but Fugly set up here with his teammate towards elbow. As Daps and Fugly both looking towards long A. As Liquid are just kind of working across the map, the bomb's going to slowly rotate back, which is a tell sign of maybe A, and especially with Stanislaw getting that opener.
Yeah, bomb's certainly rotating over, and they're going to keep that player committed to drop, so they can definitely go for that pinch once need be. Daps taking control of long A, coming back for more as he takes a second and near third. Lots of damage done as JDM sits on 6. Little Men attempting to hold the cross here as the CTs have no utility left and only the 1 kit if the bomb goes down. Breezy with 2 crucial kills, however, as it's just Nitro left, and he's going to need the clutch to close this out. No, sir. Little Man through the door keeps NRG a-rolling.
And Liquid just ran out of utility, plain and simple there. They fought so long and hard that round to get a little bit of map control from long A to keep pressure towards plat. They used some towards drop room, and by the time it came to actually push out and get towards a site, they had no smoke. 1 smoke connector, and that's it. Little Man's neutralized. That flash now gets used towards balcony, and Breezy has to reposition and then repeat later on, and you're on the site with the bomb. So now this sends Liquid down to Tech 9's armor. Little Man in window should have a heyday here. He holds mouse 1 in an easy triple spray down from Little Man with nice control on it on top.
Really nice gun control at that point. So easily he could have just fallen after taking even just 2 there, but no. Swaps to the 3rd and locks things down. Gets himself a bomb for his troubles as well, so that's just icing on the cake as Nitro and Twists have very little to work with. They'll have a little bit of utility and some map control in the form of long A, but Daps takes that back. Nitro 1v5, spots Fugly, gets dinked and killed as Liquid still stagnate on 15. NRG close to double digits.
They're really keeping Liquid honest when it comes to their buys. We've seen some interesting buys from Liquid so far this half. And you have to think, if they a couple rounds ago when they went for the AK buy on everyone, they had 2 smokes, 1 flash, and a molly. That's for 5 players to gain map control, and then an execution. Now, if they half-bot there and went for 1, just saved, half-bot, got the buy next round, that'd be an up, utility, full utility for everyone. You're feeling more comfortable. Instead, I feel like they're almost kind of pushing the issue and trying to just push NRG over the line. But NRG are holding on because Liquid are just making plays like that where they run through smokes. Granted, it's 1 pistols, so it's worth the risk. But Liquid almost feel like they want to get this over as quick as possible, and NRG have different ideas.
Yeah, a little confident in their play, right? They're not necessarily slowing things down. They're not going through the steps of taking map control, but instead, when they see an opening, they try to commit to it, which sometimes works out because you've got that window of opportunity, and if you don't take it while it's open, it can get closed on your fingers, which it has been. Fugly, this time around, going to be leading the charge towards B plat. They've got that op still in the hands of Peter, and no op on the other side of the spectrum. Team Liquid with the 5 AKs gets flashed as Fugly gets aggressive, finding twists first and foremost. Again, a round where in the opening few seconds, Liquid go man down.
It's been like the tail of the tape for the last 5 to 6 rounds for sure. And it's another round where they have 4 smokes and 2 flashes. They're lacking again the umph in these executions, which is like a molly tree, a molly behind the smokes as they go for the wall. The little things that Liquid are missing right now in their buys is what NRG are capitalizing on. And Stanislaw is going to get behind the smoke with JDM. They're going to go ahead for a little bit of boost here. Now, Fugly's already pushed up to counter this, and he'll find Stanislaw. And that's a play that Liquid are not expecting, considering NRG got the opener. And Fugly says, well, I'm just going to be extremely unreadable and go ahead for an aggressive push when we have a man advantage. So trades here for Liquid still leave them at a disadvantage, as Elige is going to wait for JDM to rotate over. Smokes off door, but that player pushed through to mid, actually.
Yeah, this is a smart play by Breezy. He gets out unspotted, so now when he re-peeks, if he hits the timing right, he could find both frags. Finds Elige and blindsides for the frag. JDM now 1v3 with an AK in hand. Bomb, no nades. Sees Breezy jumping. Could just get this planted if he wants that extra cash, because NRG should just swarm him once the plant shines through. Molotov not going to force him out just as of yet. JDM tries to go high, and it's Daps with the headshot to secure another for NRG. Ever so close to the comeback, Keith. It is that close. 15-11 now. Only 4 rounds remain.
The pie is slowly getting eaten. Nothing like a good pie. And it's falling apart for Liquid. I mean, now they're, 4-round loss, bomb plant. Now they're going to play it safe and reserved, but it's almost too close now to play it reserved. They still have OT already in their back pocket, which is at least 1 saving grace, so they're just going to go for Tech 9s once again. I imagine we'll see the op out from JDM next round. They're just going to put all the cards on the table next round at round 27, or round 28. This round, 27, will just be back to the pistols and some smoke, some flashes. Fugly again looking to shut this down towards plat, though.
Gets aggressive and lines up 3. Continuous spray down pays off for him. Again, just solid plat control from his aggression. Yeah. It's not even a far peek, but instead just an up-close spray down. Crushes Liquid, drops the bomb. Near finds 4, but twists from afar on the Tech 9's, able to swing it back with 1. Breezy gets fully blinded here as he looks to re-engage, and Heat 2 toppled. Stanislaw with another headshot thanks to the sidearm. Still have their work set out for them, but at least Liquid with a fighting chance.
And they actually catch Daps flanking as well. So this round all of a sudden starts to turn on its head. Where they get an M4, they get 3 frags, and they even it back up. Peter misses a critical shot, gonna force to smoke mid, and hope this player peeks before the smoke blooms. That's Twist. And Stanislaw goes long A with his M4. Twist is gonna try to get up close and personal. He's gonna try to invade the personal bubble of Peter. As Peter's just trying to hold and guess which way he's going to push. As Twist is getting ready to come through door, and he'll catch Peter. No scope in, but immediately traded from Stanislaw. And now it's a guessing game for Little Man. Is he going to stick towards A? Is he going to go towards B? And we'll see if Little Man is he's kind of forced to stick towards this A instinct here. And Stanislaw is going to re-peek, and that's what gets Liquid the win. A big play from Fugly, but shut down from pistols.
Poor Fugly. I mean, a fantastic 3K spray down. It's still not enough to close it out, so unfortunately for them, that's the round they lose, and Liquid will walk away with the first win.
Nice. I thought that was going to be a more dominant scoreline from the Liquid side. But there we go. And I just ripped my headphone out of my ear. Well, Liquid, I was wondering, I mean, we've seen many games where they've had 14 rounds and haven't taken it over the line, but it was, I guess it was a CT-sided affair. Two teams having similar halves on the CT side. We've seen a lot of dominance, a lot of games on certain maps where you see dominant halves, and one of them is actually Inferno, which is going to be the next map. But just before we get into that, did you guys have any final thoughts on that map?
It started to slip away from Liquid as they got a little too comfortable and a little too aggressive across the map. They went for these entries with force buys, but I guess that's something you can really allow to do.